properties. Ah, okay. Properties. Headphones. All right. Oh, testing. Okay, that looks right. Let's go to YouTube now. Let's go back to streaming, see how we are. All right, can you guys hear anything? Before I bring Jeff back in, I want to make sure you guys can hear me because I don't want to, we hear you. Thank you. Now I'm going to bring Jeff back, guys, now that I know we're good. I don't know what happened, like something crazy, but I rebooted everything. We're good. So now let me go bring Jeff back in here. Let's see. Copy URL. Get rid of this. Go back to Twitter. Give Jeff the new link. I wonder if it changed. Let's try that. All right. And, yeah. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am Tim Black. All right, guys. Tim Black. You know what? Everything in my software. Everything in the software got screwed up, guys. This is crazy. All the settings were off. That sounds right. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Yep. Good.
I'm good, man. This is crazy. Okay, so now we're back. All right, guys. I don't think they heard anything, but
okay.
Let's do a sound check with Jeff. Jeff, everybody, can you hear Jeff?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Nice to be here.
There it is. Let me see if I get some response. I like the video with Quiet Tim. Jeff was there. There he is. Yes, he is Tim Black. Yes, he is. I like the video with Quiet Tim. Ginger Bill, try refreshing back to Tim's main YouTube channel. I have no sound on YouTube. Yes, fresh start. Hey, hon. Hey, Jeff. Hello, Jeff. So you guys heard Jeff, right? It's like a little delay, Jeff. I got a readout that shows. I got audio now. Ben G says he's got audio. Low Key says he got audio. All right.
Hell yeah.
All right. Fuck yeah. This is crazy. All right, man. Okay, so Jeff is my man, right? You know Jeff. He's been on the show before. Jeff is a political activist. He's also a fighter for all causes that are positive. He's also a big-ass Tim Canova supporter, Bernie Sanders supporter, guys in the trenches. Jeff, tell him what's up, Jeff.
How's it going, guys? Just wanted to say thank you for having me. Before I said it, I got to meet Tim in Chicago. That was pretty nice. We got to watch Bernie give his. Actually, I think he was doing question and answer at that point, but we got to see Bernie speak. That was fun. No doubt, and man. Happy to be here.
No doubt, man. And Jeff, I've been following him on Twitter for a couple years now. Tim Canova in the house. Big shout out to Tim Canova. We gotta do it again. That's right. It's okay. We love Tim, so we'll do it again. And I met Jeff last year, around the primaries, man, saw how active he was on Twitter. And he inspired me to do this new segment, which is Terribly True Twitter Tales. And what it is we're going to look at Twitter and all the shit that goes on. You won't believe what happened last week or earlier this week. Jeff, could you tell them what happened?
Yeah, I'll just give a brief synopsis. I put up a tweet, I think it was Sunday. Somebody had sent me a list, a graphic that had a bunch of Twitter accounts on it. And they claimed that all these accounts had endorsed the candidate who was running against Bernie Sanders for Senate. Some guy, I forgot what his name is, but there's a guy who's running against Bernie because he says he destroyed the Democratic Party. He really doesn't have much policy issue with Bernie, but he thinks Bernie's ruined the party, helped Trump. So he's going to get rid of Bernie from the Senate, which will never happen in a million years. So somebody told me that this was a list of people that were going to endorse or had endorsed this guy running versus Bernie. But when I looked quickly at the list, I just saw immediately some of our favorite shills, some of the, the corporate, either MSNBC or writers or whoever they were, a lot of the people that showed up in the WikiLeaks, where they were given directive by the Clinton campaign to smear Bernie Sanders, create the Bernie Bro, that whole thing that there's Bernie Bros out there. A bunch of these people that have just been constantly smearing Bernie, and then even after the election have continued to smear others like Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard. So I saw them, and I just decided to post this graphic and said, these are the corporate shills that are out to smear Bernie Sanders and the progressive and derail the progressive movement, divisive protectors of the 1%, which is what they are. And somehow, some way that caught, it struck such a nerve that all of these people, including Joy Ann Reid of MSNBC, Peter Dow.
Actually, Jeff, I've got the picture on the screen. You can't see it, but I think the people in the house can see it. And it's on the screen now. It's really big. I guess I can make it smaller, guys, but I want you to really be able to see the names. I'll put it over my face. Peter Dow, Joy Ann Reid, Neera Tanden. Give it up for Neera Tanden.
Neera.
Joy Reid. These. Oh, hold up. I got a boo button. My bad. Here we go. Joanne Walsh, who blocked me and H.A. Goodman. Did she
block me?
She blocked you. She blocked Jeff too. Give it up for her.
But Neera also blocked me.
Wow, man, you're on the road, Jeff. You're making
and
the right
Peter
kind of, and Peter Dow. Yeah, Peter blocked me a while ago. So these are like a lot of the losers or winners I guess for Democratic money and opportunity. Al Giordano, Eric Garland, Kurt Eichenwald. This guy. Oh, God. Jen
Terrible.
Kirkman, Charles Clymer, Sally Albright, Mr. Weeks. I don't know him. Sasha Stone. Anyway, there's a lot of people here.
A lot of them. Some of them are not even worth really our time because they are just straight up trolls that just give complete misinformation about Bernie or just push weird things about how great Hillary Clinton is. If you don't agree, you're a sexist. If you don't agree, you wanted Donald Trump. Some of them will claim that you're just really a Republican or you're a libertarian or you're, anything they can lob at you, they're gonna do it.
You do actually. I didn't even know that's where it originated. Like I thought you were just this list of names of people or pictures of people that were just hacks. That's what I thought. I didn't know it was rooted in something even a little bit more sturdy than that. Like, it's rooted in the fact that, at least based on what you were told, these people support Bernie's challenger. For no other reason than they say he did not help Hillary enough.
Right.
Which is total bullshit. I mean,
right. Meanwhile, he went through 20-something stops where he campaigned for her, which pissed off a lot of the progressives. I'm not sure if it was 20. What I've heard is it was 20. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it was a lot of stops where he stumped for her. And I think their biggest issue is that he didn't just bend over. Like, I don't know what they wanted else, what else he could have done other than tell every single person that he could to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. I mean, unless you put money in it, like I guess they wanted him to go, door to door, give up the voter database, give them all our information so they can hound us from sundown to sun up to give them money. I mean, that's probably one of the things they're looking for. And something you just touched on, man, is something I brought up yesterday, Jeff. It's like, because I saw Joe Scarborough, and he said he quit the GOP because the GOP, like the Republicans, wouldn't come out and denounce Trump. And he said, I can't be with these people who don't have this character and they don't have these conservative values that I feel. But don't you notice, Jeff, that in the Democratic Party, they don't out their people. Like, they don't have litmus tests for Democrats. And if you talk about a litmus test, they make you a Trump supporter.
Right.
Exactly. You're part of the Kremlin. But the Republicans do it all the time, and that's their biggest complaint. They say, hey, you're not conservative enough. And they have that kind of conversation. But with the Democrats, it's totally opposite, man. What do you think about that?
I think there's a great example right here in Florida District 23 with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who, as I was talking to you earlier today about, she didn't say anything about the net neutrality. Yesterday was net neutrality day. Debbie Wasserman didn't say a word. A lot of these great Democrats were out there telling everybody that it's an important issue. Debbie Wasserman was quiet. And, if you just take a quick look at who gives her money, one of her top, I think it's her actual top donor is Comcast. So, I mean, there's a good reason why she's not speaking up, and nobody's going to question her. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, any of these other leaders, so-called leaders of the Democratic Party, you're not going to hear much from them about her silence on net neutrality. You don't ever hear them talk about how she takes money from private prisons, detention centers, payday loans. These are things that President Obama was vehemently against. So it's kind of strange that the Democratic Party just sits back and lets someone like Debbie Wasserman just do everything that's against the values of the party.
Yeah, and Jeff informed me of that earlier, man. Jeff took me up, guys. He said, look, her biggest contributor is Comcast. That's why she didn't say anything during net neutrality day. I'm like, wow, man, that's
I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
That's a reason not to fall for banana in the tailpipe, man. These people are scandalous. So when there's an issue and everyone's talking about it, look who's not talking about it. Right. Look and see who's quiet. And like when it's independent media, sometimes it's just because it's one of us. Like Debbie Wasserman has a fucking staff, guys. She has people.
Two offices.
There you go, right? It's like it's just me, right? It's just H.A. Goodman doesn't have researchers. So when we miss stuff, sometimes we miss stuff because we actually missed it, right? And somebody like Jeff will reach out to me on DMs. He won't just send a tweet because I might miss that too because I follow 20,000 people.
Right.
But he'll DM me, Portia Bozier DM me, Nina Turner DM me. People hit me up, Teslin, Figaro will DM me, and that's how we get alerted. But it's these corporate hacks. It's these shields. They have staffs. Mm-hmm. They know what's going on. You think they didn't know it was net neutrality day?
Oh, they knew.
They knew it was fucking net neutrality day, man. And like Jeff pointed out, who's their biggest contributor? Reminds me a little bit of Cory Booker.
Yeah, a lot like Cory Booker. And I didn't look that up, but I should have. I wonder if Cory Booker spoke up about net neutrality. He may have, he may not have, but it'll definitely be dependent on how much money he gets from some telecom or one of these corporations. I mean, that's how it goes. I would love everybody. Honestly, I think everybody should do a deep dive on the Democrats that said nothing about net neutrality and then follow them, the dollars.
Absolutely. Well, let's dig back into this damn fiasco, man, because it's just so interesting, Jeff. Jeff, so the initial tweet had a bunch of names and faces on it. We just saw Peter Dow, Neera Tanden, Joy Reid, a bunch of other swamp dwellers, and then I don't care about them. I want you mad. I want the hacks to get mad, Jeff. Get mad.
We got to tag. We'll tag them.
Come and get me, you scumbags. So then what happened, Jeff?
So then, it was getting its normal. I mean, my tweets get some action. It was getting its normal action. I paid not much attention to it.
You saw Jeff did that. Like, he got a little action. My tweets he's all humble and shit. Jeff's all humble. Jeff's a fucking powerhouse on Twitter, guys. All right? He gets a lot of retweets. He can start a wave of his own pretty much, right? Come on, Jeff. Yeah, there's no doubt, man.
If we need to.
Yeah, you put the time in. You put the time in. You keep grinding. So anyway, now I want to interrupt. Okay, so you got a little wave going. What happened?
And then out of nowhere, the wave got bigger. Out of nowhere, my phone started like melting. Like, the notifications were going crazy, and I'm like, something's happened. I don't know what's up. I look in, and because I'm blocked by Peter Dow, I'm blocked by Neera Tanden, Joan Walsh, some of these accounts, I didn't know that they had started to comment underneath my post. I didn't know that if you were blocked that they can still comment on yours. Apparently they can. So everyone out there, if you're blocked, that doesn't mean that people can't see your post. They can still see your post apparently. And then I saw that Joy-Ann Reid from MSNBC, who's constantly attacked Bernie, attacked Jane Sanders recently, compared Bernie to a kid who stays on your couch too long and is using all your things. I don't know. She just is constantly smearing Bernie on her show, on Twitter, and his supporters. So I saw that she wrote something underneath the post, and she not only wrote something, but she called for more trolls or other accounts, Hillary Strong accounts. I'm still with her accounts, and asked them to join my post and start calling out the progressives, and that call us, I was getting called a sexist, a racist, that the post was, some person wanted to report me and said that the post was a hate list. The most insane things you can ever imagine were getting put constantly to draw the attention away from the fact that these people, some of them are paid, many of them are paid by corporations that have, don't want Bernie's message out there. Joy-Ann Reid, I think somebody at SCAP wrote underneath one of my posts and said that, they do commercials for Bayer, which is owned by Monsanto. And, there's all these things that go behind it. They are corporate shills. That's what these people are. And they don't want people to know that. They'd rather confuse them and make them think that, the person posting this isn't a real Democrat or a real liberal or whatever it is, that they're actually some crazy racist or a lunatic.
Right. And they went in, man, and what I found was so remarkable is that it was like a gang thing, man. It was like a feeding frenzy. You were like a steak, and these were a bunch of piranhas, man, like coming after you. And these are notable people with shows who do set, like Joy-Ann Reid. She's got no reason to be attacking, like Jeff, on Twitter. Come on, man. This woman has a show. It's a bunch of shills, and it's a sellout show full of propaganda, but it's still a show on a major network.
She has I think it's 800,000 followers, and she's calling in other accounts that have 800, 600,000 major accounts, people that worked for Hillary. Neera Tanden, was one of Hillary's closest allies in her campaign. Calling her out to condemn my tweet. It was crazy that this many people decided that one tweet was so important that they had to jump on it and just try to drown me out, try to claim that it backfired and helped all the Hillary Clinton people get more followers. I love how they only care about how many followers they get, not about the actual message that they're giving. So it was pretty disturbing how you'd have a major television figure like Joy-Ann Reid lower herself to a bully, teenage bullying on the internet. It was strange, just calling in people to, add on. And it was interesting. I'll put it that way.
Absolutely, man. I saw it, man, and I just thought it was crazy. I thought, this is the epitome of punching down. If there's ever a thing, this is the dictionary. This is what you should look for in the dictionary. If someone says, what is punching down? You're like, you know what? Go to Miami Gators. Go to Jeff Miami Jeff. I'm getting mixed. Go to Jeff's page on Twitter and look for this thread, and you will see these notable stars, these rock stars in the Democratic establishment going after one guy, and it's so petty. We're talking about grown people with grown kids.
Telling me to take a nap. Joy-Ann Reid told me to grow up and take a nap, and that Bernie lost by 4 million votes. I reminded her that, Brooklyn, they purged 120 something, the voter rolls there. In Arizona, there were lines to the point where people were passing out, waiting, getting turned away. A bunch of places all over the country, they were, cutting the actual place, the polling stations, so people had less options where they could go. They didn't even know that. They called California early. It's endless, but she wants to play dumb and claim that, we're all idiots and that we need to grow up and learn the facts and that Bernie just lost and, we're all praying to some idol or something. But again, it's part of the corporate shill agenda to belittle Bernie and how much he did accomplish, 13 million votes that he did get, the 20 something states that he won. They just want to belittle that and make, the people that watch MSNBC, which watch Joy-Ann Reid, a lot of them just believe whatever's on the television. Whatever the television tells them, they're going to be like, oh, that's a good Democrat. She supported Obama. She supported Hillary. So we are going to listen to her. And it's kind of sad that that people like this get such a large audience.
They have, you're right, a huge audience and an amazingly large audience. I wish we could pull up this tweet by Mike. Did you send that over, man? Because I know
I did. I can send you a picture. I sent you the actual thread of it.
Okay, yeah, I can see if I can grab that because there's some other people that jumped into this conversation. So they didn't we didn't just leave Jeff out there on his lonely. Like some people jumped in and got involved. I'm gonna see if I can. This is great. Let me see if I can save this. Save images.
I'll quickly add that a lot of these accounts started blocking my followers. I was getting DM'd by a bunch of people saying they were blocked, like maybe even 100 or more people messaging that they're blocked or writing underneath, I can't see what's being said. So these major accounts were blocking my followers so that, you know, they couldn't even come into the defense or bring up information that would, you know, help explain why this is all going on, or in defense of Bernie or the progressive movement. So they were blocking the followers, keeping me unblocked so that I could just keep getting bombarded by their Hillary horde. That's what I would call it.
Hillary horde. I love it. There you go. We need another H. The hellish Hillary horde. There you go.
That's
H's.
what it was. It was the gates of Hillary hell that I was brought to.
Right. Look, Jeff. Right now on the screen, I have the Kurt Eichenwald tweet. The one that the eerie one, right? The one that's like it says. Okay, so I'll read it from bottom to top. Yeah. Joanne Reed reveling in the fact that she's considered a corporate shill who constantly smears Sin Sanders. Keep resisting, Joy. Bad dim. So then Kurt Eichenwald is the next one. He says, Joy, don't forget our meeting at Monsanto on Thursday to pick up all the bribes. I'll save you a seat for gathering where we get our orders. Get our orders.
What was so funny about that is you know, he's joking about taking Monsanto money and all this different stuff. And I just mentioned earlier that Monsanto technically pays for ads on Joy Ann Reid's television show. So she is paid by them. She is. So, I mean, can they deny it? I mean.
Yeah, literally paid for. Yo, the money. See, here's the thing. Joy's a smart ass, right? And we know that. Like she's really she's a formidable opponent. She can talk. Right, she can go after. She's really good at going after Republicans, and she does that very well. And she's very gifted at her vernacular. I'll give her credit for that. She knows how to do the rhetoric, right? But here's the thing, Joy, you're being pimped. All right, you're being pimped by CNN, and that's not because you're a woman. This guy's getting pimped too. They're doing the same thing with all the guys. I don't know, Seltzer here, whatever his name is. I forget the guy's name.
Chris Matthews.
Yeah. Who else is on CNN?
Well, I think she's MSNBC, but maybe she is CNN.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I get them mixed up. All the propaganda is all, but the bottom line is you're getting paid. You're not getting paid as much as you're worth. With the shilling that you're doing, if you just went directly from Monsanto, you probably get all the money. But see, MSNBC is getting the bulk of the money. So yeah, you're still getting paid through Monsanto. Your handlers. Your makers, your masters, which is, you know, MSNBC, they're getting all that. They're collecting the Monsanto money. So, yeah, it's kind of eerie that Eichenwald, how you say his name, Jeff?
Eichenwald? I don't even know.
Do you? Yes, but Eichenwald, his comment was being sarcastic, being a smartass, but he's actually on point.
He is.
You know, that's the scary thing. Yeah, you actually are right on the money there, Eichenwald. In fact, I'm surprised I wouldn't be surprised if they came and got you for that. Like your handler's like, hey man, shut the hell up. Don't go exposing what we do.
He was hiding in plain sight is what it looked like. But yeah, I mean, it was arrogant. There was a lot of arrogance in a lot of the tweets, a lot of condescension, condescending comments. You know, they're talking to people, regular people. I mean, we're just regular citizens. I'm an activist that's trying to fight for 15, criminal justice, water is life, all these different things that are happening that are good causes. And they're going to come and attack me and try to make me look like a crazy person when they're at a position, you know, where they're on a national television show, or they write for a national paper, or they're constantly a pundit on CNN or MSNBC. They just have a legion of followers that don't know that they're being lied to. And that they are the ones who are being hurt by the lies, honestly, their own followers.
Isn't that the most frustrating thing, man?
Yeah.
Like, is that I know there's some good people out there, you know? They just don't know what they don't know. You know,
exactly.
That's what kind of keeps me going, because it is an uphill battle. My wife's like, God, baby, your heart's so in this, and, you know, you okay? I'm like, you know, I just got to keep going, because I believe there's good people who are trapped under the bullshit.
Yeah, there are.
If we give up,
100%.
If we give up, they're going to be left with all the bullshit rhetoric. They're going to believe that. There was a guy, and not to get too far off it, there was what's his name? Pete Gabala. Gosh, I just did a video on him. He's an operative for Hillary Clinton. He was on Anderson Cooper last night, and he said that Trump should bomb Russia. He actually, Gabala, he said Trump should bomb Russia because they interrupted they meddled in our politics. They meddled with our elections. He actually said that. He said he should bomb the KGB. I mean, on live TV, he says this. And, so there are people who are listening to this rhetoric and they're thinking it's the end of the world's coming. And
oh, yeah.
It's not. It's not. We got these neocons. So, what else, Jeff? I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think about what we're doing? What do you think about what Joy-Ann Reid and her crew are doing? Do you think they're scared of us, or what is it? Why would they respond? Like, why would you respond to us like that?
I think that there was two things going on. I think one, they got caught up in like this, like, hey, we're so cool and great, and we're like, but a lot of the tweets were like, look, we're part of this big group of amazing people, and like they were like reveling in the fact that that they're this big group together. So it was like this like party together of like, yay, we got called out and they think we're corporate chills. But a lot of it was, that they don't like the fact that Bernie was woken up a lot of people. Regardless of whether he runs again, which we just heard the news yesterday that he's not taking it off the table. He woke up enough people that are tired. Like, they're not going to listen to everything that's just told to them on the television. Bernie said it, during the debates. He's like, these television channels that are providing you with this debate don't want you to hear this information. You need to start looking elsewhere. So, they're scared. They're scared about their bottom line, and they're given direct orders. I mean, why would she be going after Jane Sanders and her tweets on the air? I mean, it's getting murky. I mean, this is Joy-Ann Reid, who's supposed to be a Democrat. You should be focusing, if they're so concerned about Russia and the Republicans, stay over there. Stop attacking Bernie and other people that might help your cause. That's how I look at it.
I see it the same way, man. And people ask me, like, Tim Black, why do you go after Democrats so hard? I'm like, look, man, if they focus more on Flint than they focused on Michael Flynn, maybe then I wouldn't have to go after him. If they focus more on, poor kids under poverty instead of Putin, we'd be good, And until they realize what they have to do is fight for issues that affect the people, if they want seats, they can have several seats.
Exactly.
So like that's the way I look at it. And right now we have two major parties. We can't have both parties being the shitter. Don't get us wrong. I don't think you're a Republican, are you, Jeff?
No.
All right. So it's nothing to do with that. Like, but right now the opposition party, it's some cut, frankly. And if we don't push them, then what do we have? What is the solution? I think. What can we do if we don't push the Democrats to do the right thing? Then what do we have? We just stuck with the Republicans.
And we're going to be stuck with losses because just talking about Trump all day is never going to get people to get out and vote for Democrats. It's just not going to happen.
What? It's not going to happen, man? That's not going to motivate people to go out and vote? They're not scared of Russia?
Yeah, the Russians are at our door.
Man, I tell you, man. Anna Navarro sent out a tweet, and gosh, man, I don't even know if I can. The way the system's acting, like right now, it looks like we're good, and people are viewing it and getting no negative comments. But I don't want to touch the screen too much. But Anna Navarro, now Anna Navarro is a big Hillary supporter, Latino lady, who just to refresh people's minds who she is. And she sent out a tweet. She used the words, I don't know, I forget what the context was, but she was disagreeing with somebody, and she said, no Kimosabi. And Momo Pineno sent it to me like, why is she using derogatory language like that? Like, who says Kimosabi in today's age that's a Democrat who's on TV? Like, why would you be dumb enough to do that? And it's just like, this is what they do on Twitter. They act like kids, and they act like the world can't see them. Jeff, do these people even realize that we can see the shit they're typing?
I don't think they realize that it's what they're typing is insane. I think that they it's going right over their head. I thought she was a Republican. I don't even know what Anna Navarro is, but yeah, I know she supported Hillary over Donald Trump.
Oh, she's a Republican?
I thought she was.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, I've seen her. She's been on so many shows. Maybe it's just that. Well, you know what? Maybe she's
the center. She's a center Republican, just like Hillary's a center Democrat. They're basically they blend. It's like a.
Absolutely, man. It's the same thing. It's the same. It's the same thing. One of these things, two of these things look just the same. Yeah, and I just wonder, man, because like I think we as a community, man, we have to stick together. We see issues like this. I really want to give a big shout out to Michael Graham. Is it Michael Graham?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Is it Blue Front? His Twitter.
Yeah, damn out. You know what? I'm gonna try to touch my sister, man, just to see if I can find it. Because when progressives or when truth tellers, let's call them truth tellers. When truth tellers speak up for truth tellers, we got to give them some shine. So I'm going to try to find that tweet, man. Because I really appreciate that. But yeah, man. So you have some backup in this thread. It wasn't just you. Anything else you want to point out, bro? Like damn, it's a lot of stuff.
It's so long. It's like it's endless to the point where like it's like a novel. Honestly, people could be spending the rest of their days picking through some of these comments. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if certain think tanks and operatives are keeping their eyes all over the arguments going back and forth of people defending Bernie, people defending Hillary. It basically rehashed the whole 2016 primary in many ways. I think it's Blue Front. Is that what Michael? He had an amazing mini thread within the giant thread calling Joy-Ann Reid out for her bullshit.
Right. And I'm back on the thread, but as you know, it's full of so much conversation. It's like crazy to get to it. But anyway, big shout out to Michael. Michael called her out, and he called her out on her bullshit, man. And that's what we got to do, you know. I heard they took this imagery that had all these hacks on it, and they started using it as a marketing tool to promote themselves.
Yes, so they turned it into, this is what the Bernie bros think are the bad people, so you need to follow all of these people. And they started making videos about how many followers they got and that I'm an idiot and it backfired. And, there was an article, I don't even want to give a shout out to whatever the publication was. It was some complete hack that wrote something, Bernie Sanders supporter backfires and gains all this, followers for Hillary. I mean, like, who cares about the followers? I got followers. I'm not going off and saying, yay, I got 1,000 more followers and I got all these retweets. Who cares?
Right.
The best part about it is we got the message out. They were shook enough to respond to somebody who's just a regular activist in North Miami Beach, Florida, who doesn't have any aspirations to be on MSNBC, as an anchor or, getting millions of dollars to lie to people. I don't care. As long as the message, the truth gets out there and we can fight for important things like single payer health care, $15 minimum wage, and, the criminal justice system just getting completely revamped and the infrastructure. I mean, go down Bernie's list, but, that's what's more important to me than 1,000 new followers. Yay, Hillary supporters. You got 1,000 more followers. Enjoy them. Right. We've got more important things to do than gain followers. And it's quite telling that that's what's important to them. Mm-hmm. And it's quite telling that they make a joke of, and belittle actual people fighting for real issues and for important causes that will help thousands, millions of people. It's sad.
Yeah, it's shameful, frankly, that they're this juvenile about something so serious.
Right.
It's like a game to them, like, oh, well, hey, let's just make fun of these people. But then when Hillary loses, because you can't you can't inspire the grassroots, then they blame us.
Right. It's our fault.
But look what they were doing in the off season.
Exactly. We don't want you, but it's your fault we lost. They're all mixed up in their brain, but the truth is they want us all mixed up so that the top 1% can gain. And that's why Bernie's message about the top 1/10 of 1% was, they always harp that, oh, he only has a single issue. That single issue has literally bleeds down into every other issue that there is. So, we just have to stay vigilant.
Yeah, money in politics. Money, period. Income inequality breeds so many problems. whenever I hear people who mitigate, like who try to take fire from that issue and make it seem like that's, it's too generic. No, it's not too generic, man. Why do you think people in Kentucky and people, in Midwestern states who voted for Obama now voted for Trump? Because of money, dummy.
They were hurting.
Not right.
Exactly.
Being unable to feed your kids or to pay your mortgage or losing your home, that's that's just basic psychology. If people they can't worry about politics if they if their lives if they don't have their basic needs met.
Exactly. The hierarchy of needs. You need to have a place to stay. You need to be able to have food on the table, and you need a job. I mean, if there's no jobs, people need to feel fulfilled in their life. And that can create all kinds of other stresses and breakdowns. So that's what we're fighting for. That's what I'm fighting for. But, Joy-Ann Reid thinks that's funny, apparently. Kurt Eichenwald thinks that's funny. Neera Tanden thinks it's funny to fight for, people for a living wage, for health care. That's.
I think it's that bubble they live in. What was it? I think Jimmy Dore said who was making like $30,000 a day?
I think it's Joy. I think Joy-Ann Reid is making or at least 30,000 an episode or something. Just 30,000 people can't make that in a year.
Right. I'm not making that now. It's like I'm not making $30,000 a year right now. And I ain't bragging about it. Look, austerity is nothing to brag about. But what I'm saying is, how could this woman relate? How can the Joy-Ann Reids, the Rachel Maddows, the Chris Hayes, the Chris Matthews, any of these people, and some of these journalists and some of the people on that list, I don't think they're making anywhere near that type of money, and which is sad if you're selling your soul for $2.
Right, for nothing. For followers.
Yeah, for followers.
That's what some of them are doing.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. They're doing it for followers, which is so fucking petty. So petty.
They can't believe half of the stuff that they spew. So
I guess it's what you'll do for the dollar, man. That's why when I usually, when I brought up, they're getting pimped, I meant it. And that's men, women, all of them. All of them are being pimped by the system. And I think it's that thing, Jeff, where it's like, you know what, let me just get mine. Yeah, the system's screwed up. Because I remember, like, people have shown evidence of Joy Reid, for example. She was a Bernie supporter. It was the time
she had some. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
She had positive. She had a positive. He's the clairvoyant voice of the Democratic Party. He's going to be ignored, just like Dean. I think that's what her quote was. She also had some very choice quotes about Hillary Clinton in 2008 when she worked for Obama, where she called her said she was crazy on the verge of a psychotic breakdown, and that nobody on her team nor her husband wanted to tell her because then she'd lose the last shred of sanity she had left. I mean, this is somebody who, it's like the wind blows and it could be a different opinion. So you just, again, you follow the dollars and, that's where her opinion's going to be. And that's Joy-Ann Reid for you.
Those are some harsh statements, man. That's brutal, man. That left a mark. I'm surprised she's even got the gig right now.
I was paraphrasing. I believe.
But anything in that area, what you just
no, it was. I was being nice. I think it was horrible. I was being nice with what she said about Hillary.
Wow. But same thing with Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann was my guy. He was a truth teller 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. He was killing it. I remember watching Keith Olbermann like, man, you know what? This is before I even got into doing politics or commentary on any of these types of issues. I saw Keith Olbermann laying it down. And I was like, wow, this guy, he's really kicking ass. He's telling the truth. He's calling Hillary on the carpet for all her bullshit. I love this guy. And look, 8 years later, I guess he decided, hey, man, mama need a new pair of shoes. The grandson needs a new bike. I got to do this shit because if I don't, I'm not going to eat, So I don't know. What do you think about that? You think that's what it is? They just wanted back in, and to do so, they had to give a pound of flesh?
I think it's for Keith Olbermann, I think it would be maybe partially that. I also think that he probably got caught up in the Donald Trump is the devil thing. I'm sure personally he's not the biggest fan of Hillary. But I think that he is a person that probably, with the best intentions, got caught up in that, Donald Trump is the devil and we have to do no matter what. We don't, forget principles and everything else that I used to stand for. We need to jump on the Hillary bandwagon. And that's the problem with, the two-party system. A lot of people in a powerful position like him are going to have to make that lesser of two evils choice because they don't want to let people down. So it's tough.
You could be right, man. I just think that these, the way I look at some of this stuff though, Jeff, I say, if I can figure it out, if I know it's bullshit, they gotta know. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I know you have like a day job, right, Jeff? You have other stuff you do. So like this is what I do all the time. So and it never stops, right? Like so if there'd be a story, like last night I did a live stream at midnight till 2 a.m. Anytime I'm working, right? But these people are full-time too. They're full-time as this shit. And I'm like, if I know this is bullshit, they got to know it. I'm not talking about people at home who have to work and they don't have time to look up this stuff. They got time to go through no damn WikiLeaks. There's people today who don't even know what WikiLeaks is. They're like, you need a plumber. Right. You need a plumber. I'm like, no, man, it's an actual thing. You need to read it. What? WikiLeaks? Julian Assange? You're like, Julian Assange, what is that? A sausage? I don't know. What you talking about? Julius Caesar? I don't like Shakespeare. It's like, no. Julian Assange. So they don't get it. But people like Keith Olbermann, they know about this stuff. They have to. They have to, don't let his ass off. He knows.
Oh, he knows.
He may hate Trump. Okay, he may hate Trump. But he's got to know that the Democratic Party is bigger than Trump. Like, it's bigger. Like, even in comparison. Like, yeah, he the president, but he didn't elect himself. And the only reason why we have Trump is because we have a DNC that's corrupt and that would implant Hillary. Because Hillary's the only person, I still believe Hillary's the only Democrat who could have lost to Donald Trump.
Absolutely. We had the Democratic Party choose for us. Their lawyers in the DNC fraud lawsuit, the DNC's lawyers admitted that they could have gone into a back room with smoking cigars and chosen whoever they wanted. So we all know that. That's why the DNC lawsuit did something so beautiful and perfect for us. We got the Democratic Party to admit that it doesn't matter what we do, they can decide for us. So if anything, that case is important because it can stop this from ever happening again. And I think that's the most important thing for the Democratic Party if they ever want to be relevant or ever win again, is they have to actually let the people choose.
Have to let the people choose, man. I love it, man. Perfect way to kind of end this show that kind of went crazy. I'm going to check my settings and make sure we're all good next time, man. But Jeff, man, tell people where to go to follow you and kind of get involved and also mention anything about Florida politics or whatever you have going on the ground in Florida that you want to invite people to.
So, I'm part of the People's Progressive Caucus of Miami-Dade. We have meetings every month and we have actions. So if you go to Facebook and you look up the People's Progressive Caucus of Miami-Dade, go there. I know that's very local. So if you're not in Miami or South Florida, it's not that relevant, but we do actually have really important posts about things that are happening down here, like when they try to privatize the water in NMB, or we're going to throw a rally for healthcare or whatever we're going to be doing. You can go onto there and check that out. At Jeff Miami on Twitter, or look, if you search Miami Gator, it'll pop up. It's the first thing that'll be there. I'm always constantly pushing, the progressive movements message as much as I can. And obviously timcanova.com. Tim just announced recently that he's going to be taking on Debbie Wasserman Schultz again in 2018. I think everybody should check out timcanova.com, help him out a little bit. Even if you give him $2.70 instead of $27 like they gave Bernie, anything helps. We're far out, but everything you can do to help the campaign start fighting early, it's so important, because down here in Florida District 23, a lot of the people they watch Joyanne Reid on MSNBC. They watch these pundits that aren't going to give the truth to them. So we need to help Tim get that message out there. And that's for me, one of the most important things in South Florida that we can do. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that was killer, man. And look, guys, give it up for that. And, it's about people policy, not party. Policy, not party. And that's what we're behind. And look, Jeff, thank you for joining me on short notice, man, for this show.
Of course.
We had a couple glitches, but I think the bulk of it, the substance of it was good. And I think people, they start paying more attention to what's going on social media, man. Look, guys, if you are a multimillionaire, you should not be on Twitter beating up on activists who do this out of their spirit. out of their heart. This is what Jeff does. He's not getting paid to try to promote progressivism. He's not being paid to promote that we end fracking, that we fight for our environment, that we end mass incarceration. He's not getting paid for that. These people get paid millions of dollars, some of them.
Exactly.
And they're punching down on little guys who's fighting for a cause that they believe in. Now, if I know this is politics, it's a little bit different, but there are many other groups of people that if they punch down like that, this wouldn't just be Tim Black talking about it on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. They'd probably be out of a job.
Right.
If this was an LGBT type issue and he was punching down on one of those organizations, if they were punching down on one of those organizations, I think it would be front page story and they might be looking for another place to work. But they look at us as disposable. They can treat us how they want. They can frame us with these narratives. They can call us Bernie bros. They can say we live in our mother's basement and all these things and marginalize us and get away with it. And I don't think they should be able to do it. So we're going to shed light on that shit every time out.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Jeff, I see you on the next one, guys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
No doubt, man. Don't let nobody take your cornbread, people.
Tim Black.
My man, thank you, Jeff.
Tim Black. Yes, I am.
And we are good.
True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Hey guys, I'm doing a test to find out what happened, and I think I resolved the issue. So I kind of wanted to just jump back in and see if it actually worked, and just see if things are streaming on all the platforms, and if we're getting. There we go. I fixed the problem after the show. So anyway, hey guys, look, shout out to all the people that support this channel, all my true subscribers, all my true friends who make it possible for me to do what I do. I appreciate you. Go follow H.A. Goodman and Nico House and Hard Bastard. Help those guys out. Look, we're running a 1-for-1, one follow, $1 campaign. The rest of this week, it's going to be H.A. Goodman week. So thank you guys, everything. I resolved the problem a little late. I feel bad about that. But we won't have this problem coming up. So don't worry, I'll bring Jeff back and we will talk more. Remember, this is a new segment, so what I need you to do is when you see Twitter threads, if you see Twitter threads that piss you off, or even good stuff, like if you see a great thread that there's a lot of information dropped that you want me to mention on this show, please do me a favor. Take a screenshot and send it to me at tim@timblacktv.com. I will use it in my Thursday segment, and I don't know if it's always going to be Thursday, but in my terrible Twitter tales segment, which is this. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think we got it. Everything's green now. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I love you guys. I'll see you later. Peace.